Welcome to Alien Invasion Gaming. My name is Roy. In this video, we take a look at some of the highlights of the new Customs expansion. Let's get started. Purpose of this video is not to look at every single new crate or new building that is in the Customs expansion. I think at this point, the patch has been out now at least for a month. I think those people who've wanted to explore Customs have done it. What I'm going to focus on are a couple of the places where I think there's some really good sniping and counter-sniping opportunities. Highlight a couple of the places where there's some loot that maybe not everybody's aware of. And just cover the new extract for those of you that are still trying to figure out how the hell to use it. So let's dive in. First thing I want to note are some of the changes on the Big Red side in the north construction area. In addition to just the general clutter and more advanced building frame that's been put up. There's been made a change to the sniper scav that usually pops up there. And he will now fall off sometimes if you get him at the corners, this corner or that corner. So keep that in mind as you are sniping him. Now, as far as this area, I'm not going to go through in detail all of the little changes, but I want to call out a couple of spots that I found that are, interesting from a ambush visibility perspective. Obviously, you get a good view down the lane, but I don't find that it's a really good view. To me, the value on this platform is the field here, where you can get good view on somebody who might be pushing into dorms, or maybe they're coming out of dorms at the end of the raid, middle of the raid, and you want to try to pick them off. That might be a better, opportunity. So sniping opportunities there. And then from an actual, end of construction perspective, you get a really good view here of the other end of the construction, all the way down to the blue connexes that are down at the end, and you can see them right there. And so, really good vantage. Now, obviously, you're very exposed here. Lots of new angles for people to shoot at you, but if you're middle of the raid, I think this is probably a fairly safe position to take up position if you're looking for people pushing towards extract. Here we're at the first new building on the Big Red side of the south construction area. I'm not going to go over it in detail. I think there's really good med spawns in there. What I wanted to focus on is some of the surround area. So, for example, they put a large crate here. It's basically barter items, so if you're looking for some barter goods, take a look at this box. The other thing that I wanted to sort of highlight is that I don't know how many people have done this, but if you jump up here, wonder if I can do it this time. There we go. All right, if you jump here, you can actually get up on top of the cab, and it gives you a really good view of people that might be pushing in towards the construction area, or conversely, if you're looking to maybe get some shots on somebody that's going for the optional extraction, you might have some luck with this. Now, you are exposed horribly, but again, you do get a unique advantage, and I don't traditionally see a lot of people checking this spot, partially because it's hidden by this, and nobody really gives these kinds of areas another look. So that's one. The other thing that I wanted to highlight here is this front-end loader. You can actually get into the front-end loader, and it gives you some really good vantage points on this building here for some counter-sniping, or players that perhaps are going up there to loot the loose spawns. Now, the nice thing about it is that you're blocked from visibility on people coming from Big Red. So if you even wanted to sit here and try to get people maybe that were going to come by, maybe swing by here to get to this building, you've got much better cover. You don't need to worry about what's behind you because it's just a fence. And outside of that window, most people aren't going to be able to see you. So just something to keep in mind. Well, I think most people are aware that there is a new extract in Customs with the expansion of the construction area. I wanted to point out a couple of things. One, in order to get out, with this new extract, power has to be enabled, and it's in another building on the boiler side. I'll show that to you here later in the video. But more importantly, you don't have to guess if it's been enabled. That's what I wanted to highlight. So if you hit O twice, you'll see ZB1013 at the top. If the power is on, then it will be yellow. And then you will know that you can actually come in here. Here, let's turn on the flashlight. And this door here will be open. Right now you can't get it, but this is the door that opens when the power is enabled and the extract is right through there. So that's a little hint. If you're looking to extract and you have that as an option coming from the big red side, and you don't want to truck all the way over to boiler side just to flip the switch or see if the switch is flipped, a very quick check of 00 will tell you whether or not you can proceed or not. So hope that helps some of you. Now we're at the second large building in South Construction, and I think a lot of you are familiar with it that are running customs. For those of you that haven't run customs, there's quite a few loose spawns, there's quite a few crates. I'm not going to go through them. But there's one room that I wanted to highlight here. When you come through this side, this is on the big red side. There's the door that I was talking about before. The front end loader is back behind that. You can see it right there. The front end loader is right there. If you come through these doors, the room on your left has quite a bit of loose barter items on these shelves. There's a couple of jackets for you to check. Plus, there is a lot of meds down here on the bed. There's a weapon box or crate, whatever you want to call it. There's a large weapon crate. There's I think this is medical supplies. Yeah, medical supply crate. So lots of items in here, some random food stuff. Now, obviously, you're probably going to want to make sure that you hit this early, because I would think it's going to get hit fairly regularly and fairly consistently. Also, be aware, Reshala can spawn in. Typically, he spawns in this little room area here. So if you hear a lot of scavs, then be cautious. You get in that room, you're definitely prone to get rushed, or even players can toss a couple of grenades in here, and you're not going to have a very good day. So really wanted to make sure people saw that that room was there, and highly recommend it for medical supplies and loose items. I had mentioned earlier when I was at the front end loader that it was a good spot for counter sniping, and the reason I say that is because the second floor of this partially constructed building has some very nice sniping spots for shooting at people going into that big building. Let's just take a quick look here. In addition to the spots, there's also loose loot bags, small weapon crates, large crates, barter items, I believe, that you can get at. But here, you can get a really good view of people that are on the second floor, walking around looking for loot. You also have some fairly good shots on Reshala if him and his guys are hanging around at that entrance. The front end loader that I referred to before is over there. And most people don't bother looking over there when they're in this spot. They're typically looking for players in this building, perhaps leaving, moving into it, etc. So that's why I was saying there's some good opportunities for counter sniping from the front end loader. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you are up here sniping, maybe throw the front end loader a view, just in case somebody has the same idea as me, or maybe I actually had somebody looking at this video and they decided to use it. Alright, so these are the blue connexes that will come out, that connect to the road, and there is new gas. What's interesting about this spot is it does give you a fairly good view on new gas. So if Reshala's up here and his goons are up, you might be able to get some shots into new gas. Now, it's a little overcast today. I don't think it's very conducive for doing that, but again, some spots. There's also, like I said, some crates. I think they're mostly barter supplies. Yeah, technical supply crate, but anyway, there's definitely some good loot, but from a positioning perspective, I think this place up here is great. And the nice thing about this specific area is, you know, if you can position yourself so that you're covered by that, then people down there aren't going to see you. People over in the building are going to have a hard time seeing you unless they're in one of those little side window areas. And you only have to worry about people straight ahead of you. Like, even if you come here, you've got some really good coverage from pretty much everybody except anybody who's below, which hopefully you would hear coming, and then this forward area. And it gives you some pretty good views, like I said, at the gas station, as well as people that might be up on the railway tracks trying to, snipe into new gas. The other thing is that it also gives you a view of the cliffs over the new gas. So you can see the cliff area here. So if you got a nice scope, you might be able to get a couple of shots there. Counter sniping again. And if you're going for Shooter Born in Heaven, people love to sit up on those rocks plinking away at new gas scavs. So you might get some shots there. You might get a better angle from the other side over here. But the problem is that your arc angle here is really cut off by this building. So, I think, try them both out for yourself. If you want to drop a note in the comments on which one you think's better, feel free to do that. All right, let's take a look at some of the other highlights here. Now, if you are pushing in from the boiler side of the map, or the right side of the map, dorms is considered north for orientation. You are pushing through and you come through the blue Connex. There's a break in the fence here. And it actually gives you some really good cover to, get closer to the large new building without getting seen. There's very little traffic over on this side of the map. There is no traffic down here to speak of outside of people coming from old gas because there's a, guaranteed kill by a sniper if you go down there. It's just a game mechanic to catch people who aren't reading signs. But you can get over here towards this with pretty good cover, and you're in pretty good shape in order to get up there. So there's just a sneaky little area there. The other thing that I wanted to highlight from this area, there's not that much loot in this corner at all. But if I just show you old gas for a second. So there is the entrance from old gas to the new construction area. Okay. But it's a sort of an obvious choke point, either with that door there, or just in the fact that to get into this area, you still need to, go through that one common area, either on top of the bridge or underneath of it. So if you're pushing from Big Red towards the extract, you didn't take ZB013 because it wasn't up or whatever, there is an alternative. You can actually now, from here, jump onto the fence and then get into the factory areas so that you avoid that natural choke point. So just keep that in mind as you're going around. If you're looking to get out and you want to avoid perhaps that choke point, or you hear some people there that you want to avoid because there's one of you and four of them, then that would be an alternative. The other thing is if you do hear people there and you jump, if they're not moving into construction, it does give you some pretty good angles on the doorway coming out, as well as up top. Or even perhaps you could go up here onto the trestle itself and do some sniping at them like you would normally. I'm not a big fan of that because I think that, it's easy for somebody to roll up who's on your left, so to speak. But, if you're looking to mix it up and you want to try to give yourself an advantage, that would be my suggestion. All right, since we're here, let's move into the building. So this building here used to be closed, but not anymore. So I'm not going to go through it in detail. There's a couple of things that I wanted to highlight. Specifically, up here on this platform, well, you could shoot through this glass, and we all know the problems with shooting through glass in Tarkov. What's nice is that there is a broken out area right here. And again, if you're looking to do some counter sniping on the rocks, this is some really good position for you to be able to get some really good coverage of the rocks with a sniper weapon. And the nice thing is you're in a bit of shadow, and it's going to be relatively difficult for people to pick you out of that area. So, if you're looking again to get Shooter Born in Heaven, and you need some 100-meter headshots, and you want to camp an area for the rocks, then that would be my recommendation to look at it. Outside of that, obviously there's some loose loot and other things in here. There's nothing that I particularly wanted to call out, but just that one spot, which I found interesting. There is an office area up there that you could hit, again, for some loose loot. The last thing I want to talk about is, you recall that before I mentioned that you had to turn on power for the ZB013 extract. And that is through this door right here. So, if we go out, this is the shortcut area, traditionally. And this is the building. Those doors were previously closed. And so now, if you come in here, either from the back like I did, because you're going to double back and you're going to hit the extract, or you're coming in this way just from the gas station side, you open up the door, and you go all the way through. The room on your right has a power switch. So if I hit 00 right now, you'll see that ZB013 Exfil 01 is not enabled. Let's turn on the power, and you can see that it turned yellow, or green, or whatever you want to call that color. And that is how you enable that power. So then you could go back. Now, you're not going to be able to jump back over the fence, so you've got to go through the old gas area. So go through here. Go through the back. Go through old gas, through the door in the fence, and then over to the building, and off you go. There's two other things left that I want to highlight in this video. The first is, I believe that there are some new wall jump locations. I don't remember being able to do this before. Would love to hear comments from somebody if they think this is old news. But if you jump on this crate, and then... Oh, missed it. Not a great one to get on. There we go. If you get on the top of the forklift, you can jump right over. And so if somebody's waiting for you on the usual jump point over the porta potties, then you're going to get them by surprise because you're not where they thought you were going to be. Now, in the reverse, I don't remember being able to do this with the car, where if you got on the blue car, you could jump over the gate. So, really interested to get people's comments. Am I just late to the game, or are those jumps new? I think most people are aware they added or opened up the office areas for this building here. But I don't know if most people are aware that it gives you a really good sniping vantage point for people that are getting back to the extract. Here, let's turn on a light. So if we go up these stairs, let's open up the door. All these doors open to rooms. You can loot them, etc. That's not a problem. But what I'm specifically referring to here, and let's get out my melee weapon. Well, apparently I'm not very good at it. There we go. There we go. Whatever. But if you basically open up that window to give you a good view. Here, let's get my sniper weapon out. Turn off this. Whoop. Wow. Look at me jump. Ah. There we go. Alright. So, there is a really good view of that cache over there and just the general road to get to the extract. So if you like to extract camp and you don't want to be visible, this is a really good place for you to get to it. Conversely, at the other end, down here, if you jump up here, you can get a good view of somebody who might be coming this way. I haven't bothered shooting, meleeing out the window, but again, gives you some pretty good views, and you can actually see all the way over to the bridge side. You can see, if you scroll over, whoop, fell off, but you come up and you crouch, you can actually get a pretty good view on gas station. Even a little bit up onto the field near the gas station. And if you're really cheeky and somebody's got their neck stuck out, you can get them on the rocks. So, That's the other sort of sniping point that I wanted to highlight. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Before you go, I would appreciate a like or a dislike, comments as well, very appreciated. If you'd like to chat with me live, I do stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central. We also have a Discord community. Feel free to drop by and ask any questions. And if you want to get notified when I go live, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching.